Zaki, something told me to check the sound first.
You say check. All right, we talk now.
Hey, let me go back into that introduction. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua, Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Ilatha Basham Yahushua to the sisters. This is a California Isupk Lashawan Qadash class. The Lashawan Qadash stands for the Holy Tongue. This is a biblical tongue given to us by the Lord, passed down to our forefathers. And since 1969, under Commander General Yohanan, the Isupk has been teaching the truth of the Bible as well as the Lashawan Qadash. Like they speak about it's unlike the Christian church. The Christian church teaches you that the Holy Tongue comes to you, just comes to you spiritually, instead of saying that, nowadays, because we've lost our language, that you have to study and show yourself approved. Where the Lashawan can, in actuality, the Lashawan can be spoken in the ancient, be written in the Assyrian. It's not a something that just comes to your spirit and you start cackling about. That's where the misconception of that Lashawan comes in. Because the Christian church, we know from the personal experiences, us being in this captivity, that we've been pushed nothing but lies from the Christian church. Like where the Christian church tells you that the laws are done away with. And in fact, when you come to the Isupk, under Commander General Yohanan, you'll find out the laws are not done away with. But it's another funny thing on the flip side of that same coin. They teach you that you have to pay tithes, but they don't like to speak about those laws and other things that you have to follow. They only talk about what's beneficiary to them. That's how we know that the Christian church is alive, to where we know that we cannot, in the commandments, it speaks about not eating shrimp, crab, lobster, pork, or what have you. In the Christian church, they say you can eat it. The pastor got a pork chop sandwich as we speak. So we know that, and when you come to Isupk, we know that you have to follow the laws. The Bible is a historical record of our record as far as being a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man under the 12 tribes. That we know this is a historical record that we have to follow. If we don't follow these laws, which you see what's going on in America under this captivity, we'll be in the same situation. We're impoverished. We're on drugs. We're out here living wild. Men are sleeping with men. Men are sleeping with other men's wives. Wives are wilding out. They have the hot girl summer. And these are all the things that the Lord are against. But in the Christian church, they tell you, you cannot judge me. They tell you all these things that only God can judge me. When in fact, what a judgment is passed down when if you were in court and you had a judgment, it's a condemnation. So when we talk about people, we tell them you got to get right, that's not condemning them. That's correcting them, brother. People are scared of rebuke. They don't want to be corrected. They want to live how they want to live. And the Lord already tells us, lean not to your own understanding. I'm paraphrasing. And people, they got their own understanding. They philosophize, because this is what America has taught us, to be a confused people. America never taught us anything post-slavery. We only know about slavery. The bad part is when it comes to our people, we're so proud because we're like, oh, I got this degree and whatever I got a degree in under this captivity, but under the same token, we don't know who we are. We think we are the so-called African Americans. Like I hear my SUBCRIBE brothers, the so-called Mexican man. Some of them say, "Oh, I'm from the Spaniard nation," not knowing these are the nations that took you in captivity. Like we have bywords. First, you seen the Negro. First, we was a nigga. Then we were the Negro. Then we were the colored, and then we were the Afro-American. Now we're the African American. The crazy part about the African American, those are two different continents. When it comes to America, that's over here in this captivity. Then you go to Africa. That's a whole other continent. How can we be two continents? When it comes to the so-called oppressor, he's just American. He's not from here. But that's where we get confused at, because they gave us so many bywords, we don't know who we are, and that was intention to keep us down and confused. Now, if you go into that Bible, the Bible is our historical records. It's gonna actually wake you up. I'm talking about that Bible that you get in the Christian church, but I'm actually talking about opening it up and reading it, and actually reading it and find out about it, because there's a lot of things that you don't understand. That's why it's important to get in these classes. What I was confounded when I first started studying upon the classes, when I started watching the ISUPK classes, I was finding out everything that they were saying was true. And I got confounded because I had a Bible right next to me. I'm like, dang, I never heard this in the Christian church. Hold on. That can't be right. Open it up. Oh, these brothers is right. That's why it's a good thing to start coming into these classes and get proper understanding, because the world and America will have you confounded. It will have you so you will be took under in white supremacy, because that's what America is based on, white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? It's an empowerment of another nation to keep your nation down. This is why the ISUBK is mighty in what they're doing, because we're waking our people up. We're teaching them the actual history of who they are, what language they spoke, as far as the Lashawan, Qadash, that holy tongue that the Lord has given us. Because we did not know that. We just thought that we speak whatever our president talks. Then we go, oh, we were whatever we thought we was African. You know how many countries there are in Africa, and then each one of those countries have their own. They have so many different dialect languages, so you wouldn't even know where you would be at. So, but the Lord has given the ISUBK the wisdom, and now we actually understand who we are. We have the Lashawan Qadash, the holy tongue that's been given to our forefathers. That's why it's great to get in these classes, get your understanding up. And know that this language right here, it's not like the that you hear at the church. This language, when you start hearing these brothers, you start coming into classes, you start hearing people throwing up the prayers like Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka. It resonates to your spirit. It resonates because it's been in you. It's been in you before you could even think about it. Your blood flows from your ancestors. And that same blood, as what your ancestors spoke, it goes through your blood, so you can feel it. You can resonate to that language. It's your language, so it's a good thing to get in these classes and learn your language. Take your time and here and there, however you can. Get in class. If you need a chart, I can send you a chart, so you can take it home and you can exercise it. It's in the ancient and the Assyrian. I can send it to you. Put in the chat block here. That means excuse me in the Hebrew. You can put it in the chat, and I can send it to you. If you're on Facebook, I'll send it to you via Messenger. If you're watching from YouTube, you just put your email in. I can send it to you that way. So you can go home and you can study it, start writing out your alphabets, your language.
And if I could, I was going to say, because, you're talking about speaking the Hebrew, right? And you're talking about, how we say the prayers. You know what I mean? And then if you go into the Apocrypha in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 1 and verse 1, and if you drop it in the middle of the verse,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another language have not the same force in them. You know what I'm saying? So it's more powerful when you say the Lord's Prayer, when you pray for Israel. You know what I'm saying? When we say when we salute a brother or a sister, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more powerful, and it has a lot more meaning. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our language. You know what I mean? And it's the Lord's language.
Damn right. What the brother was saying was so heavy, because when you go out there and then you start praying and you say, I'm not trying to use our term, like you say, Yahweh Shai at the end of it. You say Yahweh. The Yahweh is the power. Now, Jesus' name, we know Jesus, there was no J's. I ain't even got the alphabets up. But I'm going to show you, in the ancient, there was no J's. The J's weren't established until the 1400s. So we know that wasn't his name. Now, when you say Yahweh Shai, it resonates more to the spirit. And the Lord is gonna, Yahweh Shai is gonna hear you. He's gonna hear that more than he's gonna hear Jesus. I ain't saying he's not gonna hear that, but it's gonna resonate more to the spirit because you're saying it in what we were taught, what we were given to talk. Because the Lord says that we are holy people unto Him. So understand when you say holy, holy means to be separate. The Lord has, just like the Lashawan Qadash, the holy tongue. It's a separate tongue that the Lord has established connection. Like you would think about, you got T-Mobile, you got Metro, you got all this. We got AT&T. We got the top. We got the connection with the Lord direct. Like unlike these other nations, we have the direct connection to the Lord. The only thing is we have to follow these law statutes and commandments, and we will have a strong connection. But if we don't, we're going to be in this hellish condition. That's why we got to start coming together, and we have to separate ourselves from this world. Start doing the things of the Lord. We cannot be doing the things that we were doing in the world, getting high, chasing females. All those things will come to pass. And by that time, you're not going to, as you get older and you get a lot more wisdom, man ain't going to want no wicked woman. At the end of the day, a sister ain't going to want no wicked man. Her man sitting in the penitentiary, probably messing with another man, ain't getting out. Now he's not there to protect his family, but while you was young, the drug dealer looked good to you. Right. That killer looked good to you. He got bodies on him or whatever. And it's not righteous. You need to find you a righteous brother and you find you a righteous sister. You don't want no sister that's out there doing whatever, God knows what.
As an OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? You want a sister. A sister don't need a man that with OnlyFans. A brother don't need a sister with OnlyFans, but she need a man with only hands. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's gonna protect her, not somebody that's out here. She disgracing her husband. You know what I'm saying? She's disgracing her children. Don't nobody need to see your funky behind. The only people who need to see your behind is your husband. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But you won't know that until you start learning these laws. But you got to get into classes and get proper understanding. Learn who you were. Like I said, the language is all that pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, and all these things that we ate. In the world, we thought that we were a delicacy. I see people, I got people in the world, they pop up, they got these big crab bowls, shrimp. All this stuff is an abominable food. Now you will wonder why you got diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You wonder why you getting sick easy because you eating all these foods you ain't supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat pork. Throw that away. Understand that. Right. That ain't the only food. You ever try lamb, goat? Try something that's good to you, what the Lord tells you to eat. All that ain't good to you. This is something that was forced upon you. Before you came over in these ships, they try to offer you that pork, man. They put that in your body. Some of these women and some of these men jumped overboard. It was like, no, I'm not going to live like this. I'd rather die. You're going to rip her clothes off. And the sister's embarrassed off the chopping block. She's on a slave block at the auction. You rip her clothes off. You know how righteous these sisters was? They didn't even want to live no more. Nowadays, you can get a sister. She's going to show her behind for lights. That's what lets you know where you're at in this world right now. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse when it comes to what's going on with our nation, not following these law, statutes, and commandments. But when you get into the school and you start living righteous, you can see the good side of things. And you're going to see the ugly. But at least you can recognize it and not just be living in it. I'm going to go into right now, I'm going to go ahead. No, okay. Let me get something to erase this. Because it's like the craziest thing because we live by, it's almost like we don't care about what the Lord got to say. And people swear they so righteous. They like, man, I'm saved. The Lord says he who endures to the end shall be saved. Right. You ain't endured to the end, so how do you know you saved? A Christian can't tell me that. People love to be proud, and that's the thing. How you gonna be a proud leader and you're not even leading nobody? We all going down drinking this Kool-Aid. What they talking about Christianity? Christianity is not righteous. Christianity is gonna burn up. It's not even a real. You're holy people. You're not religious. You don't pray to no. You don't see me hold my Dawada shield. You don't see me praying to my shield on my chest. You don't see that brother holding his side like, yeah, this is it. This is it. You know, that's not it. That's being religious. Praying to deities. Praying to things that have nothing to do with God. People say this, oh, that's the Star of Molech. You don't even know what that is. You got to get in this class to understand what it even is. Because we can break it down so simple, but people are not, they're not even smart enough to be simple. They just, when the Lord says we are stiff-necked people, what is that, Baruch? The Lord says we are stiff-necked people. And you see how we act. You can't tell a sister nothing. A sister won't let a man raise his children. Some brothers won't raise their children. Man, it's crazy out here. When you get into the Isupk, you start to see that. And then it makes you want to change. This is what brings the righteous out, because you're like, you know what, I live like that. I was like that. I was that brother. I was that sister. I had to step away from the Christian church. Christian church taught me to rebel against my husband. Taught me to get not even like sisters. Not to mention all the sex that goes on in the Christian church. That'll make you want to get out of there. And the pastor, he's the top player. You won't hear the pastor talk about the law, statutes, commandments. You won't hear the pastor say anything about the Lashawan, Qadash. He won't tell you, hey, we got classes all week. They got a Bible study where he teaches, and they tell you some more stuff to collect money. They don't have classes all through the week. When you come into these classes, we got classes all throughout the week. For Monday, we have a class at 1 p.m. till 3 o'clock. That's we have a history class held by Officer Lashawan. Then we have, on Tuesday, we have a brotherhood class. That's at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., we have a law class. Then on Thursday, we have a scripture breakdown held by Captain Qadash, the king of the West Coast. He runs all the West Coast. The brother got some wisdom. You can call in and he's going to break down scriptures for you. Then you got Friday, you have the Lashawan Qadash class, the holy tongue, where you can learn your ancient tongue. And then on what we know, the Sabbath is from sundown Friday till sundown Saturday. But the service is from 10 p.m. till 12 p.m. You can catch all these classes all week long. That's not like the Christian church where they have Sunday, Wednesday Bible studies. And each one of those get collecting, they pass more collection plates around than they pass the knowledge. You learn about damn near buying your way into heaven. That all you're going to hear, and I guarantee you, if you've been to a Christian church, is about sowing the seed. That's all they talk about. Sow your seed for your harvest. And all this, I forgot what do they call that? What kind of teaching? Prosperity teaching. They don't teach you gotta suffer, that you're gonna be tempted, but you're gonna be tempted. You could be tempted by Satan himself. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that in this truth you may lose your family members, because if you hold fast to the truth, everybody ain't gonna stand with you. They don't teach you all of that. That's why you gotta get in these classes, man. Learn how to be righteous. Because by the time when the Lord comes back, the Lord, he says, think not that I'm coming in peace, right, but I come with a sword. So, the Lord is not coming to pay, he's not coming down on no blonde hair, on no fluffy white cloud, with his arms out telling everybody, we're all people. That's what the Christian church got you thinking is going to happen. The Lord ain't coming down like that. You're going to see a black man, gray hair, them red eyes. Oh, it's going to be on. Make sure that you're ready, though. You make sure you're righteous. Your house is in order. But I'm going to go into the sounds. These are the sounds. This is actually the ancient. This is actually the ancient. This writing right here, this alphabet, these patterns, this is the ancient Hebrew. I'm going to the sounds, and as you can see, it's unlike the normal writing that you get from your oppressor when you write it from left to right. When you actually write in the Lashawan, you write from right to left. So I'm going to start from right to left. Understand this is how it's written. This is ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, tha. And those are the sounds of the Lashawan Qadash. Even when we write it in the Assyrian, the sounds are still the same. Just the character of the alphabets are different. We'll go into that in a second. Let's go over the sounds again. If you guys do need a chart and you want to go ahead and study it, put it in the comment board. I can send you a chart if you're on Facebook via Messenger. If you're on YouTube, I can send you a chart. Just put your email in, and I can shoot one to your email. So you can take it home and you can exercise it. So when you're looking at these classes, unless you're writing it down right here, that's Tawab, which means good in Hebrew. Then you can actually learn. You can go ahead and start. It'll start coming to you more fluent. They'd rather trust the teachers of the oppressors who have enslaved them than to trust in the Lord. God. You know, we've been taught like that. That's where the white supremacy comes in. You will see some brothers speaking in camp. You see my brother coming down, them up there blazing. And then you'll be looking at these brothers, and y'all be like, oh, they crazy. But then if you see a nice white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. I said blue guy like a smurf. A blue-eyed guy, and he'll be like, Jesus loves everybody. You'll take to that quicker. Because you've been taught that how that man looks is pure. You don't want to look at your brother and you think your brothers look aggressive. You're scared of your brothers because you've been taught this way, just like the rest of these nations. That's why these nations want to come against us. They've been taught to hate us as well. But we have been taught to hate us as well. The children of the 12 tribes are the enemy. They're enemy number one in our captivity. It's to destroy us. You see how they did Puerto Rico when Puerto Rico had that big earthquake. Man, they were throwing toilet paper to them trees. And Haiti, how Haiti was doing. They didn't give a damn about these people. Let it happen in London or somewhere else. They would have been doing all types of stuff. But instead, they when they see you conflicted in pain, they do nothing. Just recently, you see the Asian man getting beat up. He's doing all type of stuff. But you know what they did? They passed a law for the Asians. Who's been getting beat up and slammed more than the Native American, Hispanic man, or the black man in America? Nobody. But guess who? They don't got no laws set out for them to protect them. They don't got nothing when you go into the reservations, when them people come over there trying to steal their land. They don't have nothing to protect them. I forgot where was it just recently when they were spraying them with water hoses and they battling over their land just maybe like a year and a half ago. What was that? South Dakota. I think it was South Dakota. They didn't have over a pipeline. They didn't have no protection. They didn't sign no treaty and say protect their pipeline. So you got to understand, they don't got that law set out for us to protect us. That's why we got to come together as a people. We have to have that spiritual Black Wall Street again. We have to connect and get our minds out of being a part of this nation. Because whether you think you are, you're not an American. America teach you that you can have your own views. But let you take a kneel and let you kneel down during the American when they're singing the old "Say Can You See." What in half those songs are racist songs. There's a racist undertone under these songs. Let you say I'm gonna take a knee for my people that's going through injustices in America. It ain't gonna be like this piece of the president himself called these players son of a bitches. Now you disrespecting the players and their mamas. Right. You know what I'm saying? You call them son of a bitches, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into like being real vulgar, but you think about how they did that. They have no respect for us, even to show that we can do this. And you know what China will do if something happens to them? China will stand up for their people in America and say, you know what? We're going to help you with this. All around the world, there's Chinatowns and all types of stuff. There's all types of Chinatowns, Koreatowns, whatever. We can't even get a goddamn month. They give you a month. They give a Cinco de Mayo. They give you some. They give you a day. They don't give you no city. They don't give you no nation where this is where y'all can dwell and y'all can flourish. No, they just give you a holiday and try to shut you up. And we should be not proud to party no more. Well, we should be like, I don't want to party with you no more. We know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go back into the sounds. This is ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha. Remember, this is a ha. There's a similar sound which is a ka, but this is a ha. Ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, ta. And those are the sounds of the Lashawan. We should be heavy into our studies of our nation. We should be wanting to build what we have as a nation and come together. We should be that one body that the Lord is speaking about. That's why everybody needs to come in under the banner of the Isupk so you can be built up and taught correctly. Learn the brotherhood and learn the sisterhood. You don't have to go to the Christian church where Sister Susan is talking about what's the name hat and who's sleeping with who. You can get into a spot with some righteous brothers. You know what I'm saying? Where if a brother got an op, he can go talk to that brother. And we're going to shut it out and we're going to hug on each other. We're going to love each other and be stronger brothers. Not holding animosity like you do in the world. Christian church is just the world with a nice suit. Because when I was in the world, I knew brothers who sold drugs and go to church and pay tithes. They give a fat tithes too, thinking that the Lord is going to save them. But they sell a big dope. You know what I'm saying? Well, they was wicked as hell. That's why you got to get out of them places. Because I guarantee you, if a brother said he's selling big dope from here, we're going to put him to the side. Look, brother, we don't want your money. We want you to get salvation first. Right. Clear your life up. Stop selling. Quit poisoning your people. These other nations ain't doing that. Y'all should see this interview that this Chinese dude named, what's his name? China Mac. I think me and so I don't know if we was talking about that. This dude, China Mac, said he didn't sell drugs in his neighborhood. That's right. He wouldn't sell drugs to his people. Right. He sold drugs to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But he wasn't going to poison his people. But guess who he want to be like? He want to be a rapper. Right. But he won't poison his people. He come poison our people. That's why we have to be the righteous people. And like, you know what, bro? Flag on the play. You ain't nothing like us. You get back. And we shouldn't be wanting to poison our people for $1 either. There's a lot of things that sisters and brothers can be doing besides selling their body and poisoning their people. There's a lot of things you can do in this earth that you can see. We see the slavery that we live in. Either way, you're going to have to pay your light bill. Either way, you're going to have to pay for your car note. If you got a car note, you got to pay for your cell phone bill. You're in a captivity. You're not, I don't care how much money, you got to pay something. But you don't want to pay for your soul as well as paying them bills in the captivity. You already in hell. You know what I mean? You don't want to keep making your conditions worse because you know what happens to drug dealers. They get robbed and they get killed. Or they in jail, they get washed away with $1 million dream that they had, and it turns into a story. Or a sister, she ends up getting strung out and she's a straight whore, or she catches disease and dies. Or it's just a lot of things that can happen in these conditions when we don't get out of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just righteous to get in these classes and start studying. You know what? We should all know what time it is. It's about that time. The Lord is not pleased with us as a nation, and we shouldn't be pleased with us as a nation. We look at another brother dressing all black and look at them, these brothers wearing the fringes and think they're crazy. But in a minute, you're gonna be searching for them brothers. Them brothers gonna be gone. And you're gonna say, where them brothers that was speaking that truth? And them brothers is gone now. You know, the Lord called them for a different mission. Because you ain't want to get with it. We gotta get with it. Stop thinking you too good, you too hood. Ain't nothing come to the hood but a damn casket that closed on you. That's the only hood you're gonna be representing. Are you gonna have some bars that close and never open again? You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that. We all know we don't want that. We thought we were living free. We wanted to have fun, but we gotta understand where we at. This is not our kingdom. You see things that white people do, we can't do. We could probably try to do them once or twice. They can do this all damn day. White people can fly planes all day. You know what I'm saying? Unless you one of a million brothers and you do something and you can't do that like what they do. This is their kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They swim with sharks. They attack. They kill elephants. They got heads all in their house. You are different people. We don't want to kill that, and you can see that nation of people. But that's just how that nation of people is. We are nothing like them. And we got to separate ourselves from them. This is why when you hear that Qadash, which Qadash means holy, you got to be a separate people. You got to separate from these other nations. Get away from these nations. Stop trying to eat Chinese food all the damn time. We thought, I was a victim. I would walk around with a croaker sacks. I thought I knew karate. In fact, they can't fight like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, we are the most talented people. You think about when you hear reggaeton, you hear hip hop, you hear all that, the salsa, you hear the R&B, the old school, the real rock and roll. That came from us. That all came from Israel. These other nations they can't mimic that. They try to. This is why they want to stick with us. When you see what they do you see what they do when they come against our nation, they end up building a Taco Bell. They got Del Tacos. Go ahead.
You're right about that, you know what I'm saying? Because we are the trendsetters. And without us stepping out and taking lead on anything, there's nothing done. They wait for us to do anything. Then they follow it, trying to make it their own. They try to steal it.
Right.
That's all they good for.
Right.
They're going to steal, kill, and destroy, right?
That's it. You see, they'll take it from us. But you manage all those people they talk about. You see, Trump was talking about all those people. They would send you into those cages with Obama. Obama started getting all these little babies in them cages. You just see the detention centers. You just see them have no compassion. Because Obama is not a so-called Negro. Obama was an African. His wife was an Israelite, but look, she was a African, basically. She was a slave to an African. She's a traitor. She's a bad wench. You know what I'm saying? You just lay with an African. I don't know what her parents taught her, but that's what she chose to do. And you see what Obama did. He didn't change anything. We talk about Trump, but at least that wicked man was a devil in your face. Now we have Biden, which is he's a more racist. He don't give a damn about us. None of them do. I don't expect, and we shouldn't, we shouldn't get into politics as a nation. The only thing we should be into is what that Bible prescribes, the law, statutes, and commandments. We have to do our part and be a light to this world. Keep the laws. Do what we have to do as a righteous people. Build our nation up, and then let them get high. You see what happened? The Lord smacked them back in the face, and then try crack, heroin on us. You see what happened? They start having an opioid epidemic. Now they're saying war on drugs. They didn't have that when they were slinging crack. They were trying to take brothers to jail. But we see what it is when they people be all nodding out in the street, baby, he be tapping their mama and the mama all done. That's the Lord paying them back, showing them this is what you did to my people. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen to your people. Now y'all want to help y'all people out. I mean, when y'all were destroying our people, y'all was using us as test dummies. So people shouldn't be so damn proud to jump into this weed. We be like, oh man, the news. They got these new strands, and you are the lab rat. They got some weed that's probably gonna turn you gay. You know what I'm saying? Well, you shouldn't be wanting to do that, getting high. They got weeds that change your whole. Man, there's a lot of things going on in this world. People just do not understand. Brother, you want to come up here and write me a Syrian? Oh, man, that's a lot. That just brought me to something that just happened. My people, they was his nephew was just on the boat. This just happened last weekend. He was going to Catalina. I guess he bought a pre-roll from somebody before he got on the damn ship. The brother got on. He must have hit that thing, and the brother started hallucinating. The brother turned around, and guess what he did? The brother thought the police was after him. The brother jumped over. And right now, you can look it up. They cannot find the brother's body right now in the ocean. You know how big the ocean is. But that just goes to show you we cannot be doing that, getting high and getting away from what the Lord prescribes us to do. We got to be away from that. We got to be a holy people, a separate people. Getting these classes, learning your history. You start learning your history, where you came from. You don't even want to go where they're going. You're like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Let them have this kingdom. Because all they're going to do is destroy it. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be the builders. We are the builders of this nation. They talk about their forefathers, but our forefathers, it was built on our forefathers' backs. Right. And some of our nation is still building it. You got the SUBCRIBE brothers out there still building everything up, still planting food, still doing everything for the country. They like to talk about the so-called Hispanic brother, the Mexican brothers. But they don't know all that produce they eating. When you get you some lettuce, tomatoes, you get you some mangoes. Them brothers out there sweating with their families, picking all this fruit for y'all produce. And we got nothing, and America got something to say about them. That's why it's always a hell with America. Because America don't love nobody. America can't even love itself. You know what I'm saying? It's a beast. But
it's crazy. That same kind of hate that America has for us, they passed it on to our people, and we became, you know what I'm saying, like expert at hating each other. You know what I'm saying? Not even building each other. We destroy each other, and with such excellence, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where it feels normal. You talk about building your people up, and people look at you like you're weak. You know what I'm saying? They're the weak ones, they're the cowards, because they want to destroy our people at even lower state. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you just cannibals.
You like you said, it's like a perfection. We got brothers, black and Hispanic brothers out here in gangs, and they be like, they the OGs, they the ones who did this before us. What did they do? Yeah, they was killing their own people. What did they do? You know what I'm saying? When I think about a gang now, all I can think about is a clan. And when you think about, and it was the same thing, that red and blue flag, that was in the Roman days. It was the same thing. We still fight over the same things. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come out of that. We have to get with our brothers and start building this nation. Start learning your alphabets. Start learning your language. Go ahead.
Like how you say that, it's true too. Like even in sports, like boxing, they got the blue and red corner.
Right.
Football, it's like football, basketball. It's like, man, everybody got a team. They're like, you got Raiders fans. They most extreme, but that's just how the fans it is. Where I hate that player because he's from that team. It goes over. It's a program, you know what I'm saying, for us, man. And we feed into all that, man. I gotta pull away from, you know what I'm saying, that mentality I have, because football, my team, I'm a Broncos fan, but I used to even with basketball, you know what I'm saying, I was a player fan. If it wasn't that player I like, I hated that player. I didn't even know that man. But I had a deep rooted hatred for that person, just the way we program with that, you know what I'm saying? Man.
That's deep. That's how we thought about it, and that's how players start to know. They know what it is when they go up there. They get these big contracts. They know they slaves. You know, they grab your leg, and he's a big buck. This is how many rebounds he can get. Just like in the auction block, they be like, this brother can pick 500 pounds of cotton. He can do all this. This is same techniques that they did with us in slavery, but it's just now it's a different type of slavery. And we gotta understand what the mental slavery that we deal with now. Where man, it's just so heavy that this is why the ISUPK is so important to get into, learn these law, statutes, and commandments, because you can start calling these things out and you see them for what they are. You know what I'm saying? You see, like, it's like the Matrix. Like, you get unlocked into the Matrix, you start understanding the truth. So you start checking yourself internally, you know, battling those demons that we deal with as far as being born in America and all these things. You start to learn how to battle those demons. You see them because you call them out. You know, we got demons that we battle with, demons of lust. We battle with self-hatred. You know, white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot be a Crip of blood and you cannot say that you are for your nation because you hate your nation. It's a self-hating group. It might have started as something good, but in the end, it turned into turmoil because it didn't have a great foundation. You know, just like the Black Panthers. Black Panthers started something good, they were destroyed. You know, we thought carnally. We're not going to beat America with its own weapons. There is no way you're going to battle a beast in the same fight. You know, like I hate to bring up a movie. I forgot. It's called The Patriot. Have you ever seen the movie The Patriot? Where they had the Gadites. When they went to war, the Gadites was attacking them from the trees. They were getting them. They were doing it different ways. They were just coming straight out back in the old days and just come out, pack their guns, and stand straight in the line and shoot. Well, these Gadites was hiding in trees, hitting them with bow and arrows, just knocking them down because they had to fight. They had to fight their own battle. And I'm not saying a carnal way. I'm saying that we do have to fight this battle differently. We have to, when it comes down to, we're not gonna, we finna beat them. No, we have to get with our nation, build our nation up, teach them the law, statutes, commandments, get them in these classes, get them off drugs, teach them that drugs are the people who sell drugs are warlocks and witches. Teach your people that. Wake your people up and teach the brothers that sell drugs that they was a witch or a warlock. You can clean your people up. Your people be like, you know what, damn right, I've been doing all this wicked stuff, and I need to do something righteous for my people. And you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have something. You're gonna see the devil show his face so damn good because he's gonna be like, hold on. Either Nah's a devil character too. And you're gonna see the devil show his face so damn, he's gonna be like, hold on. You waking your people up? They don't want you to be in these classes. That's why they got fake groups that they got fake groups just to talk about us. Sit them in there just to talk about us. Oh, this is what happened. They try to make us look like we alive. But when you come into this classes, you'll see you're like, damn, these brothers are actually good brothers, righteous brothers, and who teach and who are willing to work with you. You know how many calls I got today? People asking me to do this and do that. Well, I got like 3. But the point is, you'll be there for you. You'll be there when it comes down to Lashawan and all that. The languages that because I teach Lashawan. People call you like, oh, okay, I'll help you out with that. You know what I'm saying? You're learning we're learning it together. We're building each other up. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your brotherhood. When you and your brothers can go spend time with each other, be with each other. You don't in the world you don't got that. You might deal with a brother. You might deal with a brother whenever, like, but y'all might be on some carnal stuff, chasing females, getting high. I remember when I used to be in the world, I used to get high and stuff. I remember I told all these brothers I stopped getting high. You know how many friends that I lost? It was like, man, you ain't getting high no more, man. I ain't got no reason to call me no more. And it's like, that's all you was calling me for? So we can get high together? Man, that's what you need to learn. Shoot. Learn how to be righteous. Like I said, get in these classes, learn. This brother, he's writing up here, he's writing in the Assyrian. You can learn the Assyrian. I know we even look on the back of people's cars, that so-called Jewish man who is not a Jew, who is a bastard to our nation. He is nothing to our nation.
That's right.
And you see all this writing on the back of his car. And this is our nation. The so-called Hispanic, the so-called Negro, the so-called Native American. This is your language, which you don't even think about it like that because nobody's taught you. Like, you know, your people wrote in that. You go to South America, deep in South America, you can go find some of this ancient, and you can find some of this Assyrian history from hundreds of years ago written. Your people wrote that. They ain't gonna show you that because they don't want you to know that you are a righteous people. You're the people that the Lord was speaking about in the Bible. And they are the devil that the Bible was speaking about.
That's right.
And that's what they don't want you to know. So it's all about waking your game up. Get in these classes, starting studying. Start following your law, statutes, and commandments. Get away from pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Get away from adulterers, people. Get away from homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? Get your family away from that. Don't condone it. Stand against it. I forgot that. What's that brother that's a basketball player and his son be dressing like a girl? Dwayne Wade, man. Don't let your kid be like his kid. You know, and that's a brother too, but how can a man be so damn weak? And I hate to say that about a brother, but how can you? You know what I'm saying? You letting your son around here wear girl outfits. You said, he made a statement, said he ain't the head of the household. I don't know what woman pleasing you think you doing, but you really do. Your woman ain't gonna love you after that. She's gonna say you a weak dude. I need a man to take care of me. You know, I ain't the head of the household, man. What are you there? And so, did you bring your charger?
Nah.
Yeah.
You need a box? You got a box?
I ain't got the box, but I got the wire.
That's the wire.
Man. I might have one.
I got you.
We'll go up here. This is, like I said, this is the Assyrian. The Assyrian. As just like the ancient, it's written from right to left, unlike your colonized languages, your colonized, English and so forth, is written from left to right. We write in the ancient, the Hebrew, you write from right to left. And this is the Assyrian. The Assyrian has double characters. I'll get into that, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through the sounds again. Like I said, the sounds are the same. So it's a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, da. You might see these double characters under some of these words. Some of these sounds, salaki. Some of these sounds. But these are double characters. this character right here is, when you look at the top, the first character, this first character is always used in the beginning on the or in the middle of a word. The second character is used at the end of a word. I'm gonna go into a little bit of that because I'm working on something different, but I'm going to it so you can get a little more understanding how these double characters are used. Like I said, this first character, this top character, is used in the beginning of a word, and the second character is used at the very end of a word. Did you ever find that? Bob? I'll go over the sounds again. If you need a chart, let me know. Put it in the comment board. I can get you one. If you're on Facebook, I'll send you one to you via Messenger. If you're on YouTube, put your email in, and I can send one to your email. It's no sweat. Just as long as you can get that word. Or if you're writing them down like this, that's the wild too, which means good in the Hebrew. Remember, but when you write this is a ka. These are both kas. But this ka is used in the beginning of the word. And this ka is used at the beginning of the middle of this word, or this ka is used at the very end of that word. So I'm going to go over the sounds again. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I. What you got? You got a wire though? Okay, so wow. Ra, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, da. Let's go over a little bit more. What's up, Alex, man? Why don't you come in, man? Bless us with your presence. I'm a boy out of Long Beach. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barakathum to all the brothers out there. Yahweh Shamar, Elatham, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah to the sisters out there as well. You know how we get it, you know. Go out to everybody that's in these classes, man, just getting this work. You know, we are one body under Christ. You know what I'm saying? When we doing this, we're waking our people up to our language and letting our people know that they are mighty people. We do have a great language. We have our own. The Lord gave us a separate language. When he says, like I said, the word holy means separate. And the Lord said that we would be holy people unto himself. So, you know what I'm saying? We are holy people unto the Lord. And, you know, we got to start really acting like that and start separating ourselves. Don't join on to your enemies in your captivity. You got to separate yourself. You know, you are a different people. You different. You ain't like them. When you get out there and you start sleeping with men, you get AIDS and you die. They can party as long as they want to. You have actual laws that you have to keep. And the Lord gave you the promise. He didn't give these other nations the promise. But you wouldn't know that until you read the Bible. And a lot of Christians ain't going to say that. The Christians are going to say, no, the Lord loves everybody. But you're going to have to show me a scripture where the Lord loves everybody. And it better not be John 3:16. That's not going to work. If that's the only one, pull another one. Show me another one. I'm going to go to the sounds again. This is A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. Those are the sounds. Like I said, the sound doesn't change when it comes to the Lashawan. But what it does, the alphabets, the Syrian and the ancient are night and day, because the ancient has connectors. There's certain connectors I'm going to show you. And then the Assyrian has a double character. They have a double character sounds. Like this ka this is a ka as well. But like I said, this ka is used in the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word. This ka is used only at the end of a word. Now I have to show you by writing So by writing some of this down, so you can see how it's used. All right, give me a real folder, man. I'm holding it like I'm in high school. I gotta give here with a hole puncher, because okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the vocabulary right now. Like I said, if y'all need a chart, just let me know. Put it in the comment board. We'll have one for you. I'm gonna show you how some of these words are used. I mean, some of these characters are used. First word. Okay, let me write this down. Hebrew vocab, right? Vocabulary. So we got some words in here. So I'm gonna write out the word. I'm gonna sound it out in the Hebrew. Then he's gonna come up writing in the ancient and in the Assyrian. I'm gonna show you how these alphabets, how you use the characters of the alphabets. The first word is virgin. The word for virgin in the Hebrew translated into the Lashawan is Bath, Bata, Wa, La. So Bata Wala. That's how you would say virgin. Bata Wala. The next word is visit. The word for visit in the Hebrew translated into the Lashawan is Ba Quar. Out the water. The next word is voice. The word for voice is qua wall. Okay, I'm gonna have the brother write. He's gonna come up and write it. He's gonna come up and write it out in the ancient and in the Assyrian. Slack you real quick. As you can see in the ancient, there are connectors. YouTube, really. As you can see, when you write in the ancient, the brothers use there's connectors out. We didn't write out those connectors in when we're writing out the alphabets, but I will show you how they are used once he's done. You know how to draw too.
A little bit.
You got some good penmanship in your Lashawan. That's right. The first word is virgin. The word for virgin in the Hebrew translating to the Lashawan is but the wala. This is the ba, the singular. This right here, when you see that under a alphabet, that makes that sound singular. So this is the ba, singular. The okay, remember this. When I'm writing it out, I'm sounding it out in the English, but it's still in Hebrew, so it's but the wala. That's how it sounds. But how I write it out, when I'm writing in the ancient or the Assyrian, I'm writing from right to left. When I'm writing it out, I'm sounding it out in the English. So, but it's actually in the Hebrew, how it's sounding in the Hebrew, but I'm just sounding it out in the English. So you see the ba, you see the ta, singular, and you see the wa, the singular. Then you have the la and the ha put together, which makes a la. That when you see that connects these sounds. When you see that's why I wrote this out. When you see this under an alphabet, that makes that sound singular. When you see this other two alphabet, it connects these sounds. So you put the sounds together, the la and the ha together makes a la. So it's but the wala. That's how you would write it in the ancient. And the Assyrian is different because the Assyrian, you just write it straight out. There's no connectors. But what they do have are double characters in some of the sounds. This is the ba, this is the tha, the wa, the la, and the ha. Well, in this case, there is no double character, so it's just written straight out. That's how you would write it. You write it straight out. The next word is visit. The word for visit is bakor. The bakor. This is the buzz, which is singular. As you can see, when I wrote it out, so you can sound it out a lot easier. That's the ba. Then you have the qua and the ra put together. You see that connector? You put the qua and the ra together. If you have a chart in front of you, it makes it a lot easier so you can see the alphabets and see how it would sound. That's how you would put the qua and the ra together. Makes quar. So ba quar. The next word is voice. The word for voice in the Hebrew translating to Lashawan is quawal. This is the qua, see a singular, and then the wa and the la put together makes wall. That's connected. These are connectors with it. This makes it sound singular. and this connects the sound. Remember, connect the sound. When you see that on the between two sound, two alphabets, Salakia, that's the sound you would get. Wall. So qua wall. And now you have, that's in the ancient. This is the ancient. Now in the Assyrian, you have the qua. Like I said, it's no connection, just written straight out. You have the qua, the wa, and the la put together. So qual, salaki. It's just written straight out. When you think about the Assyrian, it's just written straight out. In the ancient, they have connectors. So that's what makes it makes it a lot easier to sound it out in the ancient because it has the connectors right where you're gonna see it. So it gives you a clear, distinct of the sound. In the Assyrian, it's just written straight out. And you have to kind of discern where it cuts off at. Rather than saying la ha, you know what I'm saying? You have to la. You have to know whether does it have that 8A on the end of it? So no, chances are it doesn't. So it's just wala. So but the wala. The first word is virgin. The word for virgin is but the wala. In the Lashawan, this is how you would write but the wala. In the ancient, this is how you would write but the wala in the Assyrian. The next word is visit. The word for visit in the Lashawan is bakwar. This is how you write bakwar in the ancient. This is how you write bakwar in the Assyrian. The next word is voice. The word for voice is kwa. This is how you write kwa in the ancient. This is how you write kwa in the Assyrian. Let's see if we can find some. I'm trying to find some connectors. Some double characters on them, so I can use that as an example. I'm already showing you the connectors. Let me go through it. Now it's going to give me a whole bunch of because this is ridiculous. Get some more of these out. Do it right, man. Let's see. Okay. First, the word is, I'm writing out the word garden. The word for garden in Hebrew is Gad. The next word is harlot. The word for harlot in the Lashawan is Zawana. Zawana is how you would say harlot. The next word is heaven. The word for heaven in the Lashawan is Shema Yam. I'm gonna have the brother come up. He's gonna write it out in the ancient and in the Assyrian. You should have came through early, Alex. Up to you, Alex, if you want to come through. Wish you came here, got that work, came into classes. Right. I'll be acting old as hell because I'll be. Maybe it's this laptop. I'll be thinking. I said maybe I don't know. I couldn't scroll it up. I said maybe I'm getting old or something. I think it's a laptop too. Brother Alex talking about he wanted to come through. He should have came in the class. I told him he'd come through. The first word is garden. The word for garden is gad. This is how you would write it in the ancient. That's how you write it in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. I'll put it right here. That's the Assyrian. You see the connectors, the God and the Na together makes gad. That's how you write in the ancient. This is the God. And if you have the chart in front of you, this is that second character I was talking about, which when you would use it, because it's at the end of a word, you use that second character of the Na, which is the bottom one. If you have the chart in front of you, use that second character, which is at the bottom. You look on your chart, you see the Na. You're going to see the top Na, which is used only in the beginning or the middle of the word. The second Na is used at the end of a word. In this case, it's the end of the word. This is when you use that second character Na. The next word is harlot. The word for harlot is Zawana. This is I always start in the ancient. So this is the Za singular, the Wa singular. Now you have the Na and the Ha, which makes Na. You see the connector? Na. Zawana. That's how you would write that in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. Remember, the Assyrian doesn't have the connectors. What it does have is double characters, though. This is the Za, the Wa. This is the Na. This is the first character of the Na. The reason why the first character of the Na, because it is used in the beginning or the middle of a word. If it was at the end of the word, then you would use the second character. But since it's in the middle of the word, you use the first character of the Na. That's how you would write that in the Assyrian. The next word is heaven. The word for heaven in the Hebrew is shamayam. The Sha, singular. The Ma, singular. The Ya and the Ma put together, which makes Yam. You see the connector. It's the connector that connects the sounds. So Yam. Shamayam. That's how you would write that in the ancient. Now I'm going to write it in the Assyrian. This is Shah. This is the first character of the Ma. Remember, the Ma has a double character. This is the first character of the Ma because it's used in the beginning or the middle of a word. In this case, it's in the middle of the word, so you use the first character. Shah, then you have the Ya, and then you have the Ma. And use this. This is the second character of the Ma. The second character is always used at the end of a word. In this case, it's at the end of a word. That's when you use the second character. So the first word is garden. The word for garden in the Hebrew is gan. This is how you write gan in the ancient. This is how you write gan in the Assyrian. Next word is harlot. The word for harlot in the Lashawan is zawana. This is how you write zawana in the ancient. This is how you write zawana in the Assyrian. The next word is heaven. The word for heaven is shamayam. This is how you write shamayam in the ancient. This is how you write shamayam in the Assyrian. You got a chart, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You just tell the brother to put his email in there. Next word is grow. The word for grow in the Hebrew is taza ma. Next word is glove. The word for glove is ka pa pa. I might have better come up with writing in the ancient and in the Assyrian. This is pa. You already sent it to him?
Wow.
Sending you a chart right now, brother. Oh my goodness. Oh no. The word is grow. The word for grow in the Hebrew is tazamak. This is the tazah, which is singular. The ma, the cha put together, mak. So tazamak, that's in the ancient. That's how you write that in the ancient. In the Syrian, this is the tazah. This is tazah. This is the ma. This is the first character of the ma. The reason why it's the first character because it's used in the beginning or the middle of a word. In this case, it's in the middle of the word, so you use the first character. And this is the cha. It's written straight out. This is the Assyrian. The next word is glove. The word for glove in the Hebrew is kapapa. This is the cha, singular, the pa, singular, and the pa and the ha connected, so it makes kapapa. And that's how you write that in the ancient. Now this is the Assyrian. This is the Syrian. The ka has a double character. In this case, the first character is used because it's in the beginning of a word. If it was in the beginning or the middle of a word, that's when you use the first character. And then you have the pa, which is also a double character. Use the first character because it's used in the beginning or the middle of a word. In this case, it's in the middle of a word. So use the first character of the pa, and then use another pa, and that's a double character as well. But since it's in the beginning or the middle of a word, use the first character of the pa. Then you have the ha, ka pa pa, spelled straight out. That's how you write that in the Assyrian. Okay,
So like a sister wants to know, how do you say love in the Assyrian? I mean, in the Hebrew, and the word is ahab.
You already told her?
No, I was gonna say she wants to know how you write it as well.
Ahab.
Yeah.
Sister, what we said, what you know about love? You want to know how to write it in the Assyrian? Let me erase this. That's the I. Ha. That's how you would write love. Aha.
It says the ah and the ha.
Huh?
The ah and then the ha.
So aha.
Yeah. The connectors are the ha and the ba.
It's ah. And then ba.
Ah, ha, and the ba. But the connectors and the ha and the ba. Okay. No. Yeah, without
Aha. Aha. Okay. My bad. That's how you would write love in the Lashawan. I mean, in the ancient. I mean, the Assyrian Slacky. This is the Assyrian. That's how you would write it out. Show Mr. Alex. All right, now we're at the end of the class. All right, hey, shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shabbarakathum, to the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Thum, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah.
I was writing everything down at the house.
You were?
Yeah, but
Don't try and cry.
yeah, I've been sick.
You been sick?